Mozambique is one of the least visited countries in Africa and the world. Many Europeans, especially the Portuguese, have chosen this country as their home due to its climate, landscapes, and cost of living. Stay with me to learn about life in Mozambique and many other fascinating facts. One of the main tourist attractions in Mozambique is its environmental conservation areas, where safaris can be taken. These protected areas cover more than 12% of the country, including 6 national parks and 6 national reserves. The largest protected area is the Niassa National Reserve, where visitors can observe lions, leopards, elephants, buffalo, zebras, wild dogs, and other species. 2. Due to years of civil war, habitat loss, and uncontrolled use of natural resources, Mozambique's giraffe population declined rapidly. In recent years, reintroductions have taken place, and it is estimated that around 250 South African giraffes now live in the country. 3rd, rhinos went extinct in Mozambique 40 years ago due to poaching and civil war. However, in 2022, 20 white rhinos and 7 black rhinos were reintroduced from South Africa to various national parks, highlighting Mozambicans' commitment to species conservation. 4. Poaching has been a long-standing issue in Mozambique. Rhino horn prices range from $3,600 to $17,000, with the 2 primary markets being China and Vietnam, where the horns are used in traditional medicine. Dehorning, or filing down the horns, is a preventive measure to deter poachers from killing rhinos. However, as horns grow back after several years and their weight is valued, poachers may still target rhinos even if horns haven't fully regrown. Animal advocates can find various organizations online that offer volunteer programs to protect rhinos and other species. 5. For families in Mozambique, private schools are often preferable as public schools are overcrowded and under-resourced. The healthcare system is limited, especially outside Maputo, where it's advisable to have private medical insurance and seek treatment in South Africa for serious conditions. Most doctors speak Portuguese and English, but some medicines can be hard to find. Taking preventive medication for malaria and protecting against mosquito bites is crucial, as malaria is endemic in the country. 6. Mozambique has about 30,000 kilometers of roads, but only 5,600 are paved, primarily around Maputo and other large cities. To travel outside these areas, a 4-wheel drive vehicle is necessary, as smaller vehicles aren't suitable. There are also 3,100 kilometers of railways, used by both locals and expatriates. 7. Mozambique is one of Africa's poorest countries, and is often affected by severe droughts and cyclones that cause flooding in coastal areas. The country is sparsely populated, with most people living along the coast or in the fertile Zambezi River Valley in the north. 8. Mozambique has a diverse range of wildlife, including water buffalo, elephants, wild boars, leopards, baboons, giraffes, zebras, antelopes, lions, rhinos, hippos, crocodiles, and many others. 9. Arguably the deadliest animal in Mozambique is the Plasmodium falciparum mosquito, as it transmits malaria. Other fatal incidents are caused by crocodiles, with several dozen people dying each year, mainly children and women, who visit rivers to bathe, fetch water, or wash clothes. 10. Various snake species, including pythons, venomous vipers, and cobras, can be found across the country. The country also hosts flamingos, cranes, storks, herons, pelicans, ibises, and other water birds, especially in the wetter northwestern areas. 11th. Agriculture and fishing drive the Mozambican economy, with over 80% of Mozambicans working in farming. The country's main exports include shrimp, cotton, sugar, and citrus, and it is also one of Africa's largest producers of cashew nuts. 12. Mining also plays a significant role in Mozambique's economy, with gold and tantalum, a metal used in electronics, as primary resources. 13. About 1/3 of Mozambicans live in urban areas, such as the capital Maputo, or other major cities like Beira and Nampula. Most residents, however, live in rural areas, often in traditional huts. 14. Over 80 languages are spoken throughout the country. Swahili is used in the northwestern regions. Shona is common along the Zimbabwean border, and Songa is spoken in the south. Portuguese is the national language and is taught in all schools. 15. The Mozambique Channel coastline offers some of Africa's best natural harbors, playing a vital role in the Indian Ocean's maritime economy. The country's white sand beaches are a growing tourist attraction, while fertile soils in the north and central regions support diverse agriculture. The Zambezi River provides significant water resources for irrigation and is the foundation for an important hydroelectric power industry. 16. Mozambique's recent history has been challenging, impacting the nation's development. After independence in 1975, the country experienced internal conflict as the Marxist government, backed by the Soviet Union, clashed with anti-communist forces funded by South Africa and the former Rhodesia. 17th. Mozambique's civil war, which began in 1977, displaced 4 million people and led to the deaths of about 1 million due to violence, hunger, and disease. Although the conflict ended in 1992, its effects are still felt today. During the war, up to 90% of the large mammals in some national parks were killed. 18. The region has been inhabited since at least the 4th century BC, with coastal settlements emerging in the 9th century AD under Swahili cultural influence. 19th. Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama arrived in Mozambique in 1498, establishing port cities that allowed the Portuguese to create trade networks in the Indian Ocean. Mozambique remained a Portuguese colony until 1975. 20. The country's name originates from an Arab trader named Musa al-Bik, who settled on an offshore island in the 15th century. The capital was initially located on this island before being moved to Maputo on the mainland in 1898. 21. In the 18th century, Mozambique was a hub for the East African slave trade. Yao traders developed slave networks from Lake Nyassa to Kilwa and the island of Mozambique. 22nd. Mozambique's largest lake, Lake Nyassa, is shared with Malawi and Tanzania. It is also known as Lake Malawi, and local folklore includes tales of a sea serpent called Dzimwe, sighted in the lake. A 1905 newspaper account reported a sea serpent attack on missionaries traveling by boat. 23rd. Mozambique Island, located in Nampula Province, is the country's only UNESCO World Heritage Site. The island features the São Sebastião Fortress and was a major trading post on the route to India. 24th. Ponta de Ouro is a popular beach destination for South Africans due to its proximity to the border. Nearby at Ponta Mamoli, you can visit nesting sites for loggerhead and leatherback turtles. 25. Gorongosa National Park, at the southern end of the African Rift Valley, suffered heavy losses during the Civil War, with most of its wildlife poached. Only about 200 elephants survived. Thanks to rehabilitation efforts, animal populations are now being monitored and protected by park rangers. 26. Recent discoveries of natural gas and oil reserves off the northern coast have led to the establishment of new industries, with South Africa, India, the Netherlands, China, the UAE, and Portugal as key trading partners. 27. Mozambique's long colonial period under Portuguese rule left a lasting impact, with Portuguese language and Catholicism still prevalent, though many Mozambicans also follow indigenous cultural practices. 28. Approximately 2.1 million Mozambicans live with HIV or AIDS, ranking Mozambique among the top 3 countries with the highest rates of the disease, following South Africa and India. 29th. Piri piri is a popular Mozambican spice made from hot red chili peppers. The word piri means pepper in Swahili, and the sauce often includes lemon, garlic, and onion, adding flavor to many dishes. 30. Matapa, or muswain, is a traditional dish made from sautéed cassava leaves mixed with ground nuts or cashews in a thick sauce, often served with rice. 31. Mozambique is home to rare and endangered species, as well as black and white colobus monkeys and gelada baboons. 32. The majority of Mozambicans speak languages from the Bantu branch of the Niger-Congo linguistic group. The Makwa, Lomwe, Tsonga, Sena, Shona, and Chwabo languages are widely spoken. 33. Small groups in the south and other parts of Mozambique share Nguni languages with communities in South Africa and Zimbabwe, reflecting historical migrations. 34. Rural areas with good soil and climate, including the Lurio and Ligonha river valleys, the coastal plains, and the lower Limpopo Valley, are the most densely populated. 35. To mitigate famine risks from natural disasters like floods or droughts, rural communities often plant diverse crops in specific environments. 36. In 1962, Mozambican exiled political groups formed the Mozambique Liberation Front, Frelimo, in Tanganyika, now Tanzania, with Eduardo Mondlane as its first president. This movement ultimately led to independence in 1975, achieved through the Lusaka Agreement with Portugal. 37. Mozambique has one of the highest infant mortality rates and one of the lowest life expectancies globally, though similar to other African countries. Nearly half the population is under 15 years old, and 3/4 are under 30. 38. During colonial times, many Mozambicans worked in neighboring countries, particularly in South African mines and Rhodesian, now Zimbabwean farms and cities. 39th. Forests along the Beira Railway and in Zambezia province have been a major source of fuel, with high deforestation rates and ecological impacts from eucalyptus plantations. 40. Mozambique's currency is the medical, plural, meticais. Since the 1990s, the country has privatized its banking sector and taken on debt to finance development and address foreign currency shortages. 41st. Private planes first flew in Mozambique, but after World War II, Portugal's national airline established routes between Beira and Maputo. Mozambique Airlines, founded during the colonial era, replaced the national airline in 1980. 42. The 1990 Constitution introduced key government reforms, including multi-party elections, universal suffrage, secret voting, and press freedom. The Constitution abolished the death penalty and confirmed workers' right to strike. 43rd. Mozambican society has traditionally centered around family and community, but the government initially opposed traditional practices like polygamy and initiation rites. The regulos, chiefs, held power in colonial times. 44. By the late 1990s, the government eased restrictions on polygamy and initiation rites, and traditional leaders like the regulos began to play a role in local governance. 45th. Cassava is a staple food, often cooked, mashed, and served with sauce. Rice is also common, often cooked with vegetables or meat, and Indian influences are evident in dishes like pilaf and curry. 46. Mozambique has produced notable African writers and artists, with its early 20th century newspaper, O Africano, providing a platform for African intellectuals and writers despite colonial censorship. 47th. Mozambican music blends African and Western influences. Marabenta, a popular style that emerged in the 1950s, was first played on makeshift guitars. Often political, the lyrics were a subtle form of criticism during the colonial period, and the dance associated with it is enjoyed nationwide. 48th. Cyclone Idai struck Mozambique in March 2019, killing about 600 people and causing massive destruction, particularly in Beira, which was nearly obliterated. 49th. Mozambique is divided into 10 provinces and one capital city with provincial status. Provinces are further subdivided into districts, which break down into administrative posts and localities. If you'd like to learn about another country, check out this video on Iceland, the land of ice and fire. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more content. See you soon.